Hello, my name is Irina Vasco, and today I will be presenting the case study about selecting a new communications and network provider at Stanford University. In this case, we have John, who is the salesperson. He is also new and excited, but he meets Sarah, a stressed and busy IT leader. During the initial meeting, Sarah interrupts and challenges John with tough questions due to her past negative experiences with vendors. Despite initial challenges, John manages to regain his composure, build rapport, and answer Sarah's questions, eventually making a connection. Let's take a closer look at John's client, Stanford University. Stanford University is a private Christian university located in Birmingham, Alabama, that is focused on strong academics, a Christian community, and personalized education that is made possible due to a small student-to-faculty ratio. Their IT infrastructure, like other small private colleges, has to balance budget constraints with service quality. We also need to consider the IT challenges at smaller private colleges. According to a 2020 survey by Campus Commuting Project, the median IT budget for private four-year colleges and universities was $5.5 million, which was slightly higher than the median IT budget for public four-year institutions, resting at $5 million. However, this is only a general indication, and individual private college budgets can vary significantly, either being higher or lower than this median. Private colleges with smaller enrollments or simpler technology infrastructures may have smaller budgets, and thus may depend on third-party vendors like Apogee to manage IT infrastructure efficiently. Now on to Apogee Telecom's offering. The company was founded in 2003 and is based in Austin, Texas. Apogee specializes in managed network solutions for higher education with a focus on providing stable, reliable resources like Wi-Fi, voice over Internet protocol, and video conferencing. The company's ResNet or residential network service is a flagship product aimed at students and on-campus housing, providing high-speed internet with 24/7 support. As you can see, outsourcing IT infrastructure management to Apogee promises benefits like expertise, cost savings, scalability, and improved security and reliability. However, there is a problem. First, we have internal conflict at Stanford University. Stanford's IT team of 12 struggles to meet the growing demands on maintaining a complex network across campus, since different departments like the business school, residence halls, biology department, and others have competing priorities and concerns about IT. Additionally, many department heads prefer to keep the network management in-house, seeing it as a cost-effective measure, though some do acknowledge that recurring issues like slow internet and cybersecurity threats to the business school. There is also Sarah's frustration as the IT director. She recognizes the increasing challenges in maintaining the network with limited staff and outdated systems, but also sees outsourcing as a potential solution to relieve the burden on her small but mighty IT team and address growing technical problems. However, Sarah faces resistance from the department heads, which leads to ongoing internal conflicts, with the department heads pushing back against outsourcing and often reverting to the status quo mindset. Next, we will proceed to analyze the situation and propose recommendations. Stanford's purchasing and decision-making process is reflective of a typical modern B2B environment where multiple stakeholders from different departments are involved. As highlighted in Making the Consensus Scale article, the involvement of diverse decision-makers, each with different priorities and agendas, creates friction and delays, which we see in Stanford's case. The decentralized nature of Stanford's departments leads to misaligned goals, further complicating decision-making. Even when some department heads agree that external network management could solve certain issues, others are skeptical, thus delaying the decision. Overall, I would say that there is lack of unified strategy for addressing the larger IT infrastructure challenges. To help streamline Sanford's purchasing process for larger strategic decisions, several of the buyer enablement strategies outlined in the new sales imperative article can be applied, namely, provide prescriptive advice. Here, Sanford's leadership should adopt a more prescriptive approach, guiding the decision makers through a step-by-step evaluation process. For instance, the IT group could present clear guidelines on how outsourced IT solutions like Apache's offerings align with Sanford's long-term goals, making the decision process easier to follow. The second thing that can be implemented is to limit information overload. One of the biggest challenges Stanford's IT group faced was providing too much technical information to key stakeholders, which led to further confusion. My third recommendation is to address the collective needs, tailoring the message to address shared goals such as improving student experiences, increasing network reliability, and enhancing cybersecurity, rather than focusing on the individual needs of each department can help unify the group, which would ultimately lead to a conclusion and a decision. Lastly, the leadership should realize the basic economic concept of opportunity cost and make decisions accordingly. In this context, Sanford's decision makers need to understand the trade-offs between in-house IT management and outsourcing to vendors like Apache. Leadership can facilitate this by highlighting key advantages like scalability, expertise, and security measures, while also addressing the concerns of those who fear loss of control or higher costs. Some of the sales and marketing challenges a company like Apogee faces are navigating multiple stakeholders, consensus building, and resolving conflicting priorities. Since Apogee must deal with a diverse group of decision makers, each with different needs and concerns, this makes it difficult to get buy-in from all parties at once, as one department's enthusiasm may be met with skepticism from another. The second challenge is consensus building. Instead of focusing on convincing individual stakeholders, Apache's sales strategy should shift toward building alignment and consensus among all decision makers. This could involve facilitating workshops or discussions that bring out shared objectives and aligning their solutions with the collective needs of Sanford. The last major challenge I wanted to mention is the resolution of conflicting priorities. As seen at Sanford, different departments have competing priorities, which can delay decisions. Apache's sales team needs to resolve these conflicts by presenting a unified business case that highlights how their services can meet both individual and collective goals, ensuring all departments feel that their concerns are being addressed. By focusing on consensus-building strategies, B2B suppliers like Apogee can accelerate decision-making processes, thus reducing the risk of stalled deals. And through adaptation of simplification strategies mentioned in the new sales imperative article, both Sanford's leadership and suppliers like Apogee can streamline the decision-making process and reduce friction. Here you can see the articles referenced in my presentation. Thank you.